way. Huh? Yeah, I'm using your snowball microphone because... Yeah, your snowball. It wasn't getting used anyway, so I figured I'd put it to use. Okay, is it coming through clear then? Oh yeah, I let it go for like a week, and then I just eventually shave it again. What?
Oh.
Yeah,
it's
this.
Not mine.
Yeah, it's yours.
It's not.
Yeah.
No.
We bought it for you long ago. Yeah. Mine's the other one, the thin one, but it requires a soundboard, which I don't have. I was using that with Rogers.
No, the one I have is the one I have in the bedroom.
Yeah, I know. We got this before you got that one. Yep. Well, tell me what I bought it for then. Tell me what we bought it for. What do we get this for? Yeah, exactly.
I got it for you.
Alright, let me adjust. No, I already had one. That's the one that cooks into the soundboard. Alright, let me see if I can adjust that for you, G. Looks like I'm dropping a lot of frames. I'm not surprised. The internet is so ridiculously poor here. Let me see here. No. Maybe advanced properties. Bring something down a bit to adjust that. Let's see here. I'm pretty far away from the router, and I'm using a relay as well. So I don't know how well it's going to work here. Okay, let's try this. Nope, that's my speakers. Yeah, my connection's pretty poor. God, it is really poor right now, too. What's funny is there's two other connections on the same router that show as, like, excellent. But I guarantee I'll switch to those, and then all of a sudden they'll be poor as well. That's literally the story of my life in this house, I'm telling you. Alright, let's see. What is this garbage? Get out of here. Gosh. Look into the settings for the microphone itself. Yeah, let me know if that sounds louder. Okay. Alright, so pull up what I'm working on here. Get back to this family here. Alright. See, I think they lived till like the 50s or the 60s. For whatever reason, I can't find them. William Mary Kelly and William Kelly. Edward, maybe. We have to find it, Edward. Jane. Alright, you know what? Let's try something else. No idea. Nobody told me anything. Yep. Or her middle name is O'Donnell. That's where that... Yeah, but doesn't I have an initial for her? I don't. Mary O'Donnell Kelly. And his middle name is O'Donnell as well? Interesting. So I wonder if that was her mother's maiden name. Because I know her maiden name is Duffy. Before associated with one of the other records of one of the children. What do we have here? Okay. Oh. Yo, what's up, Mikey? How's it going? No problem, G. Do you have Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Hatchet? Because me and my brother have been playing that, and I saw you playing, I think it was Borderlands 2 or 3 the other day. And hopefully I'm coming across clear. It's a bit choppy. It's better now, but I'm dropping a lot of frames. Anyways, let me pull up that article, G, for you that I was telling you about. I got it here somewhere. Oh, I think I closed it out, so let me pull that back open. George Vandegrift's story. No, that's not it. Let me get that. It's under my newspaper articles. George. Emelina, listen to Abba. Alright, George Vandegrift. Alright. It's here, but let me see if I can open this in a open with Yeah, but you weren't forceful enough, Abba. You just gotta take it from her, just stop her doing it. You just still let her do it, even though you tell her. Like, it's the same thing with us. She doesn't listen to anything that's told her. I mean, I'm having fun. I'm having fun with it. There are, like, 1 or 2 spots in there that are a little woke. But a lot of the writing is pretty funny. I mean, typical Borderlands fashion writing. It's very old school Dungeon and Dragons type feel to it. I'm trying to figure out. I got this article, but I'm only sharing my browser right now, specifically because there's other things up on the computer that I just don't want seen. So let me see if there's a way for me to do this. Let me see if I can do something here. Save as. Can I save this as like a... No, it doesn't want me to do it. Actually, I've got an idea. Let me see. Let me go into OBS here real quick. See if there's something I can do. Add image. Let's add an image and browse it. Just hope I can zoom in on it once I do this way. George H. Vandegrift. Okay, it looks like it's showing up okay. Let me see if I can, how I can move it around though. Okay, so this is from the Philadelphia Inquirer in 1888, and this is the headline of it. Gone to parts unknown, sudden disappearance of a well-known conveyancer. Now, I was pretty surprised when I came across this. Obviously, I was pretty psyched about it. I had been looking for him. I thought he just died. Yeah, I believe that it is cross-platform. I'd have to look. I'm playing on PS5 with my brother. I'm pretty sure it is, though. I'm going to check it out real quick. Yeah, PC players can play with console players. Yeah. No, I was probably just quiet for a moment because I was looking up whether Tiny Tina's was cross-platform. It's possible the stream slowed down. Though it's actually showing as... I don't know, man. It keeps going from like green to yellow to red and then back to green again. The internet here is real shoddy. Especially from where I am. And the fact that I'm streaming video. Oh, the timer went off? Yeah. Okay.
Let's see what you got here. A box trucks. Cause I need to see what that is.
Just 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. You want to say hi, Emelina?
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
You can look in the camera. Alright.
Listen.
That's a couple of Dada's friends. Don't touch anything. Oh, good. You put the Legos all over the big, thick rug again. That's always fun to clean up.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of those are going to get lost into the...
Malina, come here.
What?
You know, it looks almost like it's smoky in here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, that could have been either me being quiet, or that could have been the stream. Who knows? Yeah, so anyways, it's a pretty long article. You can see the write-up. I mean, it's got subsections and everything. You know, it talked about him, you know, leaving the office that night. His mom, which is my great-great-grandfather's sister, this is her son that disappeared. Like, she went to the office the next morning, and obviously she was pretty upset because he didn't come home that night. He wasn't there. Now, they say that they traced him to New York. I don't really know how they got this bit of information here where, I mean, I'm assuming there was like a ticket taker that said he bought a ticket, but I don't know. Like, do they have a photo of him or anything like that? I'd say it's doubtful. I mean, it was 1888. I don't know. I mean, maybe there was. I mean, I have photos of his mother, you know, but I mean, she was very old, and she passed away in 1915. So, what do you got there, sweetie? That's Abba's. What are you doing with this?
I'm pretending this is the mama's.
You're pretending it's Mama's. All right, but should you still have it? That's the question.
Yeah.
Oh, you should. Okay. I'm glad you determined that. Yeah, so, anyways, they traced him in New York, and where do they say here, because they went to Broad Street Station, and, Emelina, what are you doing? And then they went through his stuff and they say in the fireproof, which is basically like a fireproof safe, because he was you don't need to broadcast our address across the internet. Take that to Abba and come back, and then I'll let you play here. Yes.
No.
All right, fine, whatever. Anyway, so they looked over his books. They found he was like 15 grand short, but all the money was from friends that were like very close, like that he's known since a child. So like, I almost wonder if like, was he investing that money? I wonder if he got caught up in something shady, or somebody just knew that he happened to be carrying that money, or maybe his trip to New York was a setup. Like, there's so many questions that are unanswered here. So, anyways, you know, and they must have been pretty close people, because I mean, it says here, you know, let's see, Mr. Fox. This is the guy he was renting an office space from. He was like a real estate agent himself, a little bit different than what George was doing. He says that he claims the money was given to Vandegrift by 4 or 5 friends who've known him ever since he was a lad, so pretty young. The largest amount was from one person was $5,000. You know, he's about 35 at the time. It says it's understood that the parties who are said to have lost the cash are not inclined to prosecute him, and it says this belief is sustained by the fact that no complaint's been lodged with the local authorities. So even after he left and some of that money was gone, like, they still didn't press charges, because like, it seemed like he was a pretty trusted individual. He did like a lot of business there, and then, like, I don't know. I mean, I know people just straight up, you know, leave. They want a different life and whatever. But do you just never, you never say anything to your mother or your sisters or anything up just like that, you know? And he would have been the last male in the family as well. His dad died when he was like 24, like 10 years earlier. He had a younger brother who passed away when he was 9 in like 1868. So he was the last male of the immediate family, and then so after that it was just her and his mother and his 3 sisters, and then none of the sisters married. That line ended, unless he went somewhere and had children. That line of McQuaid descendants ended, and so and I don't know. Like, he could have, like, you know, gone somewhere. Who knows? You know, maybe he met some woman and he just wanted a completely new start, but also doesn't make sense either. You know, if he had met a woman, he would probably just gotten married and moved out of the house. I don't like. It seems a little weird. So, anyways, I mean, unless he thought that maybe he would have, you know, brought shame depending on who she was, but that seems weird too. I mean, they were freaking Irish, for crying out loud, in the 1800s. So, and surely, you know, that was one of the lower classes looked upon. Though with that last name, he could have probably gotten away with not saying it was Irish descent. Plus, he would not have had the accent as well, since even his mother was born in New York. So, yeah, and like I said, it could have just been that. I mean, it doesn't look like foul play was looked into at all. Like, not much anyway, you know? Or it doesn't even look like the idea got entertained at all, which seems a little odd. Like, we didn't even question anybody that, has anybody had any issues with him lately? No, nothing of that. So, like, was the train story true? I mean, he could have lied to the janitor saying he was catching a train. He could have been telling the truth. If he was telling the truth, he could have actually been going for some business, and just never said anything to his parents and was like, I'll just wire them when I get there or something, Was it, like, for some other reason, Was it for something else of the unsavory nature? I'm talking to my buddies G and Mike, or Hatchet. So, yeah. So, anyways, that's that. And I wrote a story on that. I basically just wrote like a one-page story on that because I'm part of a subgroup in my local or my county genealogical society. And
but Tanya gave the papers because I am the one that gave her the paper.
Okay. So. Yeah, I get that, but that seems a bit rough for a mother, especially when your mother's there. Like, you don't say anything at all to your mother. Now, we don't know if maybe he contacted her later and was just like, hey, I want to be left alone, whatever. And by all accounts, she was pretty sweet person. The daughters were actually very close with cousins from the Annie Yeager line, Hannah's sister, Annie McQuaid. And in their last days, they were actually living with the other cousins, and like by all accounts, they all seemed pretty nice.
I have my new Barbie house.
So, yeah, that's a bit rough. I mean, all right, knock it off. I'm like trying to talk here. Well, I don't think Hannah cut ties like with that. That would have been embarrassing to her. I don't know that. I don't think anything embarrassing happened with George where he was cutting ties. What are you doing, Elena?
I want to scratch my back.
You want to scratch your back?
Scratch my back.
Anyway, you're crawling on me and you want your back scratched. All right, calm down. Do you want me to just put you in the other room? I need you to either sit on Dada or stand down here. Whatever. This girl doesn't stop. It's like 100 miles an hour all day long.
Back while I do it.
Yeah, I'm not scratching your back, Emelina. I'm actually trying to like do some research here.
No.
Emelina, if you want to cry, that's fine. Just go in the other room and do it.
No.
Okay, so. All right, now how do I get this? Let's remove that. Remove this. Alright, right now I'm looking up the Kelly family. I'm doing a little extra research on this family. There were two... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so I don't know. It seemed like that was pretty recent, G. That doesn't strike me as the thing that would... And, like, especially with the whole, like, people weren't even pressing charges. Like, that just seems really odd. They, like, seemed pretty forgiving. But the embarrassment could maybe, do that. But I still got the impression that it was fairly recently, the way that article was written, that he had borrowed that. Meaning that he wouldn't have had to pay them back for some time. In fact, if anything, he would have probably been investing in that. So the question is, so in my mind, the question is, well, maybe he was taking that money to invest in something legitimately, and then, something happened. Or maybe he was doing something illegitimately and just left, Like I said, who knows, I tried looking for a George H. Vandegrift in New York at the time. I mean, it's not the most common name in the world. It's definitely around. I couldn't really find anything that really matched up with around how old he was. Of course, he could have changed that. Back then, it's not like people were carrying driver's licenses and things like that and needed an ID to do everything. Yeah, but I don't even know if that those were straight up investments. Like he might not have even invested in the money. I mean, the way it reads, it sounds like it was cash. I don't know. So, let's see. What do you guys see right now? If I put this here, you don't see that, right? Okay. Anyway, so this here is a World War II. You can see up here, like the draft card or registration card. Oh, interesting. Canceled because of death of registrant. I've never actually seen this before. This is one of the family members. So, my great-grandfather, his sister, married a man by the name of Sylvanus Ziegenfuss, one of my favorite names in the family tree. And they had a whole bunch of children. Anyways, two of them married into their grandchildren. Two ladies by the last name of Lamb. And so I was just doing a little extra research on them, just because two of them happened to marry into two. He was just that Mr. Fox, that Henry Fox guy. He was like a real estate agent. But George himself was a conveyancer. So he was basically a lawyer that deals specifically with the buying and selling of mortgages. And so he was doing his own thing. So he already had his own business. I think he was just renting room because it was just him. And business seemed to be fine because the paper even remarked how like a bunch of people were showing up that day, like for meetings, that whatever, or they just wanted to talk to him or whatnot. So, and people had been showing up the day before. He was there late working on stuff. So maybe he was just there late. Maybe he was there late. He wasn't working on things. Maybe he was just there late drinking and like not wanting to go back to the house. I can understand that if he's living with his mother and three sisters. I'm surrounded by three women here, so it can get crazy sometimes. Anyway, so this... Do I have his death certificate? I have his death certificate. This is Edward... Wait, let me get the right one. Edward P. Kelly. He died in 1949. Yeah, so let me go to the second page here, because it's going to have his registration date on it. Well, he registered in... Wait. Yeah, 1940, okay. But that's interesting, because it says here... Oh, canceled because of death of registrant. Oh, so they kept these active much longer after World War II, I suppose. These draft cards or whatever. So, I guess they just put this up at the top to let people know. Or whoever's looking through them. I'm pretty sure that's them. 5870 Birchfield Street. And this was in 1940. So now I'm going to look that up. Because I've been trying to find this family. Because they have young children. I just found him. He was one of 5 children. I had 4 others. And the 2 of the children are living with like an aunt or something. So I don't know what happened to the parents, but their names are pretty common. It's William and Mary Kelly. But I found this. I found the 5th child, which I didn't know there was a 5th child, because he was born later than the others in 1905. So I found his death certificate, and it listed the parents as a William Kelly and a Mary Duffy, which I know was her maiden name. I also have seen the mothers living at the same address of him, and because it's in 1940, I'm going to go look at the 1940 census and specifically search this address. So I've got like a pretty good trick for that. I can come over. I've got this census is popped up. The state. I know it's in Philadelphia still, right? Oh no, this is at oh, so maybe they moved to Pittsburgh, because that's what that is, PGH. Ah, interesting. Maybe that's why I couldn't find them. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe what I'll do first then, before I do anything else. What I'll do first then is look for him in Pittsburgh. I've got a Mary, Edward, Nancy, John. The names I have are Lizzie, Martha, Mary, Joanna, Edward. Now, I know 2 of them moved out. Edward and Raymond. Edward, Nancy, John. Edward, James, Nancy, John. I don't know. This might be a, no, because here it looks like a James, not a, but it is a James W, so I guess it could have been William. Oh, no, see, I think this is them. I don't, oh, no, it's not. It's Kelly. They probably spelled it wrong. Maybe it's a different Edward Kelly. See, this is the issue. But I know that there was an Edward Kelly by this family because he does have his mother's maiden name as Duffy on his death certificate. So this could be just a different Edward Kelly. Oh my gosh, what is taking so long? They've got Mary O'Connell as the maiden name here. And it is 5870 here. Yeah, so he died then. So that, alright, that makes more sense. Because my Edward Kelly died in 1949, and so I was surprised to see this at the top, this canceled because of death of registrant, all the way back in 1940. So I can safely say that is not the Edward Kelly I am looking for. That is not. These are not the Edward Kellys you're looking for. Okay, so, but I have seen that O'Donnell name before, which is interesting. Unless I came across a record which I wasn't able to suss out for my part of the Kelly tree, and never actually attached it. I just remember seeing O'Donnell doing all kinds of stuff. So I want to avoid Pittsburgh. Let's go back to Philadelphia. This family's never had any ties to Pittsburgh, or, you know, never any major ones or solid ones. Okay, so now this here is, yeah, see, it's William Kelly, Mary Duffy here. This is the Edward P. Kelly that I was, well, I wasn't really looking for him. I was looking for William Kelly and Mary Duffy, and I turned this one up. But what I do want to do is, I wanted to find a little bit more on him, or find him in a census, hoping I could find the parents in that census. So, what do we got here? 1920, where he would have been 15. That is 17. These names don't seem to fit in, though. I mean, there is a Mary, but the Kellys I have are William, Catherine, Helen, Edward. I've got Lizzie, Martha, Mary, Joanna, and Edward. None of those names match up except for the Edward. So let's keep looking around. Now here we have Michael, Edward, Mary, Anna, Helen. And again, I think that's that same family just a decade earlier or something, right? Here's an Edward P. Kelly. James J. Kelly, Catherine Kelly. That would have been on. But again, I don't know where this Catherine and James comes in at. This one's been a bit of a tough one. It's a pretty common name, so. Edward Carolyn. Edward Catherine, Rosemary Marie, William Clara, Edward. Edward Joseph Aloysius. Another Edward Philip. I've got his parents in here, but I'm not turning it up. Oh, I get a phone call. Alright, that was a spam call. Let me go block that. The business funding department. I'll get my own funding, thank you. Okay. I don't seem to be having much luck. About the only other thing I could figure here to do is look at his death certificate, which was literally the first result. I can pull it up in my family tree, but I'd rather you guys look at it. It's more interesting. So, William Kelly, Mary Duffy, both born in Ireland. And they were at 633 North 10th Street. Now, this is interesting because the informant was a Lewis Kelly, not familiar with this name. And it was at 637 North 10th Street, a couple houses down. I don't know what's going on. And I don't think there's any way for me to fix it short of just getting a completely new internet service. And honestly, I am not interested in spending another $1 in this house. I can't wait to move out of it. There's so many things wrong with it. I just want to get out. Yeah, so we'll just leave it there. 633 North 10th Street. The problem is this was, well, it's not a problem. It was 1949. Let's see who's living there in 1950. We're only a year away from 1950. So I've got this Enumeration District Finder tool here, which I absolutely love, because I can pop in the state, the city, which Philadelphia is still Philadelphia, and then I can put in the address, which was 633 North 10th. Whoops. North. Oh, it's still loading. I'll let that load. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up Google Maps because I'm going to need to find the cross streets. So, 633 North 10th Street, Philadelphia. Alright. 633 North 10th Street, and then I need to find the crossroads for that block, which is Wallace, North Percy, and Mount Vernon. So I'm going to come here. Yeah. No problem. We're just going to put in... Okay, so we'll just do 10th Street here. 10th Street. And then what I do is to find the block where the census took place, I can plug in all the streets surrounding it. So we got Wallace. And it'll narrow it down as you go through. Wallace, North Percy Street. Okay, just Percy Street. And then what was the other one? Mount Vernon Street. Mount Vernon Street. And then look, it'll show you. It knocked it down. So it's Philadelphia 222. So then what I can do is go back in Ancestry and go specifically to the 1950 census and look for that enumeration district, and then go through page by page in each enumeration district. So it's 222. 222. That's weird. Usually it gives me a dash number. And it just says Philadelphia-222. I mean, I'm assuming it's 51-222 because I'm pretty sure that those first two numbers are specific to the city itself. $222. The part of Ward 10, Track 10A part, excluding St. Anne's Window Asylum, Block 1, bounded by Vine, Franklin, Race, Darien, and Ridge. So it could be well within the center of those boundaries. Let's see how big it is. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to that map real quick and see what other streets are near here. Alright, I'm surprised that it's not. Alright, so here's Ridge. So it's bounded by Ridge. That's Poplar. Fairmount. West Girard. I'm missing the other ones. But I'm not familiar enough with it to like just pick it right out on the map or know exactly where it crosses some of these roads. Anyways, let's see what we got here. Whatever that is. Ridge. Yeah, this seems really, really small. It's a little concerning to me. I mean, it should be much bigger than this. I would think so, anyway. 8th, Franklin, Mildred, 8th. More 8th and Franklin. It seems almost all 8th and Franklin. 8th, Vine. This looks like it's some kind of... Oh, they did say it was some part of an asylum. This is all one spot, so... All these people are all in one place, so it makes me wonder if that's an asylum there. It says 225 North 8th. Usually they make Golden Hotel. It's a hotel and rooming house. And that's why all those people are listed at one address. Same thing here. I'm wondering. I might remove one of those streets and see if maybe there was an accident when they were doing this up. Yeah. Move Percy Street. And we get 221, 235, and 237. Wait, let's put, what was the other one on? 5th, 8th, 7th, 8th. There it is. I guess let's just do Mount Vernon and see what comes up. Alright, so 222 is there and then 235. Let's check out 235 real quick. See what it says. 235. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Alright, 235. Alright, that part of Ward 10, Track 10B part, excluding Robert Morris Hotel and Block 53, bounded by Race, 17th, Arch, and 18th. That doesn't sound good. That sounds way far west than where I want to be. Yeah, I don't like the way that sounds. Alright. Let's take a look at... Alright, let's take out Mount Vernon. Let's put in Lemon Street. Yeah, see, it's showing 235 on Lemon Street, but I need the cross street of Lemon, which is 10th, but for some reason it's not showing me what looks proper. There, well, let me put 11th in there. Yeah. I don't know. Let's take a look at 235. I gotta say, I'm feeling wholly confident in this right now. I've used this thing many times before. Welcome back. I've used this many times, but again, it's only 15 pages long. That does not seem very good. Does this summary page list what streets are on here? No, not seeing it. God, there's only like 300 people or something. Somebody was doing a census in this area. Like, surely they're going to have the census of, like, this block too, right? Probably, right? Unless they just came straight down and only did east of 10th Street. These four, if I'll come up with something different than 235. Because I don't think it's going to be in here. There's only 15 pages in here. There is no way. Are you going to move? What's going on here? Gosh. I'm dropping so many frames. And that's for the encoder. That's not what I want. I'll just put this here for whoever's watching. Alright. I'm gonna try something. I think it's gonna change anything. I'm gonna try that. See if that helps. See this, save that, close that out. Okay. That didn't really seem to help at all. Alright. Well, I'm just going back to it. Except this doesn't want to load, so. Okay. What we got here? Ray Street, North 17th. See, this is nowhere near where I want to be. Alright, so let's do this. What we're going to do is we'll keep 10th Street. We'll go, we already have everything. Wallace, Mount Vernon. Let's take Lemon out and put Mount Vernon in. Yeah, it's still the same too. 10th, Wallace, Mount Vernon, 11th, and it's just coming up with 235. It's just coming up with 235. That ain't good. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the only thing I can figure is I can try and change networks real quick and see. Alright, let's see if that helps. No, see, it's automatically, it's just going right back up again. Now, it says my connection's a lot better than it was, but I'm still dropping half my frames. Let's see how long that lasts. It's hovering at about 50% of drop frames. Let me see if I can change that. Where can I change my frame rate? Let's see it there. Alright, well, the percentage of drop frames is better, but I want to see if I can change that somewhere, and I can't find it in the settings, because OBS updated it, and I haven't used it in a really long time, so I need to find out where. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Video. Okay, alright, here it is. It's not even letting me change it. Oh, I have to turn off the output and then change it. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that now. I don't know. Yo, I have no doubt that that's a big part of the problem, G. There's nothing I can really do about that right now. But I am streaming at 60 frames per second, so before I do the next one, if I do a next one, I'll drop it to 30, and that'll probably help out. In the meantime, this is the first time oh my gosh. No wonder I'm having such a hard time. I forgot to change the date up top. See up here? I was in the 1880s still from the last time I was there. Now I'll be able to find what I'm looking for. I always forget it because it's so tiny and it's like at the top middle. What was it? 630? Was it? What was it? Yeah, 633. Yeah, north 10th. Oh, that's also why the 10th didn't have a north or west, or well, there's only a 10th here. Oh my gosh! All right, that's gonna be a lot better. All right, what was it? Wallace, Mount Vernon, North Percy Street. Wallace. Mount Vernon and North Percy Street. Percy. All right, 51, and that's why the 51's how it's there. 51-259. All right. Is it a little bit better now though, G, or no? I mean, because my drop frames went from like 90% to 60%. I'm sure that's still looks like garbage, but somebody upset Emelina. Well, she'll get over it. 259. 51-259. Alright. Alright, that looks a lot more promising from the description. Alright. And it's 46 pages, which is also a lot more promising. Alright, looking for North 10. Alright, that's Fairmount. North 8th and Fairmount. We got here. North 8th. North 8th. Still 8th Street. A lot of 8th Street. I haven't heard it beep. 1 second, guys. I haven't heard it beep, so... How's it feel? Okay. Yay for being fine. Okay. Now we're on 8th and Green Street. I forgot to put my bread in the oven. So that just went in. Alright, here's North 10th Street. Not what we're looking for, though. Looking for 633. Looking for 633 North 10th Street. I bet right before we get 633, it'll switch streets on me. Happens all the time. Just happens to be the way they were walking the blocks at the time. Yeah, there it goes. Now it's like on Turner Street. North Mount. There's Mount Vernon Street. Look, they got like a page of another one like over the top. I'd be kind of annoyed if I was. I think you can request like a rescans of this or something. Thank you. Emelina was getting into trouble, so she was in tears. Mama's, of course, annoyed because, as usual, Emelina doesn't listen. That girl probably came out of the womb not listening. Alright, we're back to North 10th, and we're in the 620, 25, 27, 20. Why does it go 623, and then 625, and then 627, and then back to 625? Nobody home? Alright, 627. No, 637 was that other family. North 10th. Alright, we're looking for 633. Dang here, it's a Anna Dorsey. And the 637 was nobody at home. Well, that's helpful. So here we are with Edward P. Kelly, 633 North 10th. Whoever the Lewis Kelly is, that 637 North 10th. And what was it? Not even. When did he die? April of 49. This was probably done in February or March. April. A year later. Neither one of them's there, or at least nobody from a Kelly family is at either 633 or 637. Disappointing. But I found a lot of things like that in the past. Ain't that the truth? Yeah. I mean, thankfully she usually behaves when we go out, but man, she is an absolute terror inside this house sometimes. Just does not care, wants to do her own thing. Alright, so that can go away. I'm curious, what are my dates for the others? Those are in the 60s, the other two I know. Let me see if I can find one of the other two girls that I don't know much about. We've got Martha Kelly, who I forgot to put a birth date down, but I'm assuming is Pennsylvania. Let me just look at the census that I had. William, Mary, Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. Yep. I just got to add that in real quick. She was apparently born August 1894, so let's take a look for her. Alright, Martha. And it's going to turn up a lot of stuff. So what I'm going to do is put in the parents' names. But even that's probably not going to help much. I mean, they're William and Mary, for crying out loud. I'll put in a little bit. That's probably not going to help much for a sister. Oh, she's got other siblings. All right, 1900. This is the one I believe I've already got. Yes. Yeah, see, this is the one I've got where the whole family's actually here. We've got William, Mary, Kelly. Then we've got their children, Lizzie, Martha, Kelly, and Kelly. If you're wondering who the Marches are, that's like a family that was living with them. Unrelated. It says borders. Doesn't necessarily mean they're not related, because I've seen before where they list people as borders where I know for a fact they're cousins. They just don't cousin very often. Oh, she died in 1918. William Kelly, Mary Duffy. All right, so I found her death certificate. Let's take a look at that. See where she's living. All right, she's living on 1032 Elsinore Street. And this was 1918. I don't know that they stuck around there long. 1032 Elsinore. Mary Kelly was the informant, was the mother. Alright, so let me plug in the information first. August 23rd, 1894. Now they put 5 here. Who knows? They put 1894 in the 1900 census when she was 6 years old. It's amazing how often these things get messed up. I mean, I'll put in 5. I'm going to trust the vital record a bit more than I am a census taker, given the fact that Mom was the one that verified all this. But even so, it could have easily been 94. Died October 13th, 1918. In where? What does that say? It's Delaware County. That's got to be Chester. God, look at that. That's Chester right there. You kidding me? Man, I thought my writing was bad. Well, my writing is bad. Chester, Delaware, Pennsylvania, USA. Actually, does that have her birthplace? It just says Pennsylvania, and that's all I got. I mean, it was probably Philadelphia, but she died of the flu, 1918. Wasn't that the Spanish flu? I think it was the Spanish flu. Bet you got a shot. 1918. Yep, I thought that's what that was. She died in the Spanish flu in 1918. That's when most people died there of that. Alright, so I'm just going to save this real quick to my computer. I save all my records to my computer, back them up. Martha Kelly, DC. Parents, got the parents' names, got the birthplaces. All right, all that's consistent. I'm just having a hard time finding them. Okay, my phone's usually out there, so that's why I leave it out there.
Yeah, but it always ends up on the floor with a shit or something around.
Okay, well, that's fine. Anyways. Okay. Ancestry DNA. I'm looking at this. I don't even know if I can't even see what I'm looking at. See what it looks like here. Return package. You just spit in it. Collecting saliva. Assuming this is where you put it in. It's a collection bag. You have an activation code. On this card. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that later. Because I'm not going to spit on my video stream. So. Alright. So, now the downside is of her death. The downside of her death date is it's not up against a census, so to speak. With any luck, the family stayed there for another 1.5 years, so I'm going to take another look. We're going to do another one of those searches. 1032 Elsinore Street. So, let me find my link. 1030. Make sure I'm on the right year this time, which would be 1920. We're going to do. So you can see this works pretty good when you've got other information, but a regular search isn't helping you turn up what you're looking for. All right. Either they're spelling it wrong or I'm reading it wrong. Because I don't see an Elsinore. Oh, there it is. I think they spelled it wrong. Or I spelled it wrong. I don't know. I thought that's what I typed in, so. Alright, now I gotta look it up on Google Maps. 1032 Elsinore. Really? Catch up with me, keyboard. Let's go. I got things to do. And it is in Chester. Oh, actually, I gotta come back here and put Chester in. It's not letting me do that, so I guess I have to put in other. Oh, whoops. The county's Delaware, not Chester. There we go, Chester. All right, there we go. Okay. Interesting. So it's not here then. So that means that it is included in. Did they include it in Philadelphia then? Because here it's showing up as in Chester. Oh wait, it's not here. Else. It's just, I just see Eleanor. I see Eleanor. Yeah, see, I'm thinking they included this in with Philly. I'm thinking they included this in Philly because when I plugged it in here, it was showing up here. So they must have included it in with Philadelphia. Maybe at the time it was part of Philly. Well, it wasn't because they even listed in the death certificate as being in Chester, but I'm not surprised. Wait, L. Oh, no wonder it did. Okay, it wasn't taking anything I put after the first letter. That's why it got messed up. So I was typing it right, and I did have the correct spelling. Elsinore. Alright, Elsinore. Alright. What are our streets? 11th, 10th, and McDowell. So we're going to go 11th, 10th, and McDowell. I don't even see 11th and 10th. Yeah, see, this is... maybe did they rename the streets? Elsinore Place. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it changed because that the one in Chester was I saw an Eleanor Place. I wonder if the road name got changed. I put Chester County again. I have to keep an eye out for my bread. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, first of all, you know nobody like that was another flu shot, right? You know that took out all those people, the Spanish flu. They even did the same thing with the masks. I can show you pictures from like 1918 where there's a bunch of doctors wearing masks and then there's like elite people standing behind them without masks. And also, it didn't originate in Spain either. That's another fallacy. Originated right here. And started with the military, for what it's worth. Tells you everything you need to know. Alright, Delaware, Chester, 1032. I'm all but certain I saw an Eleanor Place in here. Yeah, see, there's an Eleanor Place in here. And if I look up 1030 Elsinore, it is over here as Elsinore Place. But it's not Elsinore in here, so... Yeah, and here's these other streets, right? What is it? McDowell, 11th and 10th. Now, I don't see 11th here, but I see 10th. And I see McDowell. Delaware, 129. Alright, so we're going to do that. Delaware, 129. Alright, Pennsylvania. Delaware County. Chester. And there's actually quite a bit here. What was it? Just Delaware 129. Oh my gosh. It did it. I'm a goober. I'm looking at 1950. I did it that time. Go back. 1920. Get the right census. Alright, now let's try that again. At least this time I didn't go searching through like 15 pages of a census before I realized that I had the wrong year. Delaware. Chester. I don't... Wait, does it say what ward it was in? It just says Delaware 129. Alright, so I'm going to have to go through these wards until I find it. Alright, it's somewhere halfway through. Ward 6. Ward 5. Alright, there it is. Okay. What we got here? Oh, 54 pages to go through. Goodness gracious. Alright, 1032 Elsinore Place. Let's see if we can turn it up. Or Eleanor Place, depending on whatever they're calling it. Potter Street. I can skip that. Oh my gosh. Potter Street, we can skip that. Okay. More Potter Street. And East 11th. That's interesting because 11th showing here, but it wasn't showing when I was doing the cross street. So, I don't know. Upland Street. Upland Street. Upland, East 10th, Bell, and Potter. More Potter. East 10th. More 10th. More 10th. A lot of 10th Street here. And now we've got 9th Street. Kind of going... Okay, here's Elsinore. Only up to 929. That's Elsinore Street, not Elsinore Place. What was in the death certificate? Elsinore Street. 1030. Oh, come on. Are you serious? Look at this. It just totally skips it. Oh, maybe they went to the other side. Oh, they're all odd. They're all odd numbers. They went to the other side. The last one is an even number, so maybe they switched sides of the road and then came back down the other side. Still all Elsner. Still odd numbers, mostly. That looks like 1034. Is that 1034? 932. 32. And back on to Potter. I saw some 1030s there, but I might have to go back. What page is that? It started at like page 20. I might go back through there and look through name. Just to make sure I didn't miss it somewhere. But a lot of times they come back to the street, so. Or it could have just got mixed. Sometimes they just missed people. Alright, my bread timer went off, so I'll be right back. Okay. I am back and the bread is out of the oven. McDowell. Alright, so here's Ellsworth again. Alright, here's 1032, and they're no longer there. It's this Dryden family. Dryden, Lloyd, Horner. Let's just take a quick look around. Alright, now here's some Kellys here. Are they born in Ireland? Probably. No, there's New York. Their parents are born in Ireland. I mean, it is the last name Kelly. I mean, so possible cousins, maybe. Those names aren't familiar to me. I'm looking in the tree real quick. Not Sarah. Yeah, I'm not seeing. 51 would have been born in 79 or 69. So 1869. The William I have was born in 1872. So this is possibly a brother of the William Kelly that I'm looking for. So definitely something to keep in mind. Yeah, they didn't sit in one spot for long, I'm telling you. I cannot find these guys anywhere. Alright, well, I have to document Martha's death certificate before I forget, so I gotta go take care of that. So she was buried, is it in Holy Cross or did she get buried somewhere else? Mount Moriah, 10/15, 1918. I hate this keyboard. Tanya bought a keyboard for this computer and then just bought a laptop for herself anyway. So now I'm stuck with this garbage keyboard that she bought because she didn't consult me. She just bought keyboard. Mount Moriah Cemetery. Okay. So, got to create a new source. Copy that. Copy that for the citation text. I usually put that in the citation text of my family tree. And my citation detail, and the link, copy the link. Okay, and I just need to attach the certificate now of Martha Kelly. Where are you at, Martha? There you are. Okay, I have to categorize it as a vital record that I have in my family tree maker program. Add that, and now I need to link this document to all the different places that I have the information I used for it, including her death date, her birth date, her name, which there wasn't a middle name, right? Oh, there is. It's Gillard. Gillard? Looks like Gillard. Unless she was married. She was. Alright, so I've also got to add that as well. Let me get the parents, names, and birth dates, and then I'll go add the unknown Gillard, or Gillard, however it's pronounced. Alright, parents are taken care of. So now I gotta add him in the tree. I'd show you the family tree right now, but there are like still living people in there, and while mostly everything I have in the tree, even for people who are living, was publicly available, I'm just not going to put it in there for I don't want to accidentally show something. So that's why I'm not showing the family tree, but I'm adding this. How do we spell this name? Gillard, I guess. So whatever her husband's last name was, it was Gillard. She was only 23-year-old. There's 23 years and 1 month old. So might be able to find something on that. So I think I'm just gonna source his last name just so I see where they get that from. All right, let's close this out. Couldn't find anyone there except for, wait a minute. Alright, that's not Gillard, it's, what is it? Oh, it's this Gilmos. Oh, that is interesting. That's very close to the name at that 1030 location of her married last name. Yeah, but it's definitely Gillard. This looks like something with an M. They're saying it's Gilmos. Not sure I necessarily agree with that, but looks like an M to me there for sure. So I think I'll just write that one off. Close out of there. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that. But what I am going to do is put in a spouse with the last name of Gillard and see what we turn up. See if I can turn up the marriage. Okay, so that's the 1900 census. I knew she died in 1918. We're going to narrow this down to the birth, marriage, death, and then the marriage after that, once it decides to go. And see what we turn up. Alright, let's see what we got here. Are you not going to give me previews? Alright, there we go. Kelly and Baines. Not seeing a Gillard. Not Not seeing a Gallard. What I can try and do is, you know what, let's just put her last name in as Gallard instead of her maiden name and see what we turn up there. Alright, that's in New Jersey, and the marriage is after her death, so that doesn't work. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? I can narrow this down by marriage date. Let's see, she died in 1918. Yeah, it's alright, whatever. It's just a couple people. I'm just hanging out.
I'm just gonna lay down with her.
Yeah, it's fine. Just go with me.
No, I'm gonna lay down with her. You don't need to matter.
Okay.
I'm just gonna see if she lays down when she sees me laying down.
She seems to fall asleep really quick, even when I'm laying in the bed, our bed. At nighttime, when you're not here doing your stuff, I'll like lay in the bed, and she's usually out in 5 to 10 minutes. So hopefully it works. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just turn it down. Okay, sorry, had to take care of some child going down for nap business as I got the monitor here. So I think what I will do here is she died in 1918. I'll put let's see. She was only 23. What I'll do, let's put 1916 and plus or minus 2 years and see what we turn up. See what we turn up here. Martha Gallard. That's Louisiana. Or Louisiana. It's not there. No, that's Juilliard. That's Colorado. It's unlikely. I wouldn't rule out a New Jersey marriage being in Philadelphia. Lord knows I've seen plenty of that. I am not turning anything up by that name, so I think what I'll do now is just look up Gallard. I'm not even putting a birth year. I'm just going to put the marriage took place in Pennsylvania. And I will put that the spouse's name was Martha Kelly. And then see if I can turn it up by looking for the groom that way. John Gallard to a Brown. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look right. Yeah, I'm not seeming to be having much luck here. I mean, they could have gotten married in Delaware. It could have just not be registered. Who knows? So it's hard to say. Hard to say. Some of these are women's names, so that's not gonna. Spouse. All right, Gilliard. Oh, maybe it was Gilliard. It could have been Gilliard. You know what? Maybe it was a misspelling on there. I don't know. I'm kind of reaching here a little bit, but we'll see. Look up Gilliard and see what we come up with. Or Gilliard, like with an I. It could be that too. What's this? My wife wants to know. Yeah, okay. I gotta let her know, and Emelina actually lays down, because right now she's bouncing on the bed. Alright, well, I think I've about exhausted that for now. I think I will move on to the last child. And I still couldn't turn the parents up with the long search that way either, so... This one's going to be a little difficult, because her name's Elizabeth. That's going to be a pain in the butt. Born 1894... Pennsylvania. Marriage needs to go away. Father William, Mary. This one's just gonna. I get a feeling I'm not gonna turn up much here. Actually, I need to clear this because I'm still on just marriages. Alright, so somebody's got a tree going for them. I'm going to open that up and use that as a reference point, and maybe they'll be able to locate them for me. I use other people's trees all the time. I don't use their trees to document sources. I refuse to. Other people like documenting other people's family trees as sources. Those are not sources. Anybody could put any name and date in there they wanted to and tell you that's what it is. And many times I go into people's family trees and they have no sources on them at all. I understand the sharing of trees publicly, and you can get a lot of help that way, and people will reach out to you for things. I just haven't done it because I had a really bad experience where I shared my tree once, and someone literally took it word for word and like basically published their own thing, and it literally had my personal notes to myself in like some of these things, and it looked so dumb, and I thought it was so silly that they did that, and I was just like, whatever. I was like, after that, I was like, I'm not putting anything out there again. I don't mind helping people, you know, but when I reach out to people, I'm like, hey, I'll help you with, if you can help me. But like, I'm not like putting my tree whole cloth out there, I'm just not doing it. Yeah, so this is Joanna, who married into the Muntz family. So yeah, I know that's them for sure. And then I see the name Duffy here. So, they got, and yeah, okay. So we'll see what they have. Mary Elizabeth Kelly, no. Couple 1900 census. I already have her in the 1900 census. Nope. $1900, skip that. Alright, let's take a look at this tree, see what we got. Alright, so she passed away in 63. They've got her birth as. So what do they have for sources for her birth? 1930, 40. Oh, they have her death. Oh, right, because you died in 63, so. Kelly Duffy. That's what I was looking for. I wonder why it wasn't showing that. Oh, wait, I already have hers. That's Joanna, right. I already have hers. I wasn't looking her up. I was looking up Elizabeth. So they don't know when William died. They have William John Jr. Now, they apparently had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 children. All right, here's the Lewis that I saw as an informant on one of the siblings' death certificates. That was for Martha, I think. Elizabeth Lizzie Kelly. She disappeared. That's who I'm looking for right now. What do you got? 1900 census, and that's it. Yeah, that's all they got on her. She's the one I was looking for. She probably passed away. Hard to know. But what I really want to know is, what do you guys have for censuses here? Because I've only got... No, I've got the 1910, or 1900. All right, so they've got a 1910. Let me see where they've got the 1910. Catherine, Jenny, and Mary. So they've got this William, Catherine, Jenny, and Mary. Now, I've come across this, and it's probably them, but like half the kids aren't there. It's so confusing. William, Catherine. See, this doesn't make sense. Alright, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, so look, are you watching, dude? Are you still here, G? This is so crazy. So silly. Let me pull that back up. Let me pull that source back up. Let me pull that back up. I'm going to view this, open this record up in another tab. I prefer it that way. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, let me know if you're still there. I really want to talk to somebody about this. This really, really annoys me. Ooh, look at that 10-year treasury yield, 4.2. Okay, we're on a bit of a delay. If you answered me right away, we're on a bit of a delay. All right, so this is what annoys me. All right, so here are the parents. These are the ones I'm looking for. Well, they say William and Martha. Good Lord. Spouse and children. Parents. Wait, what is going on here? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, they got William John Jr. here. This still doesn't make any sense. 1872. This is what, 40? All right, so they've got... Okay, cool. All right, so William Kelly, born about 1870, marries, or has, his wife is Mary, and they have a son, William, okay? 1870, all right? That's this guy here. This whole page here is who I'm looking at. These are his parents. This is his wife, and these are his children, okay? All right, so if you're with me so far, William John Kelly Jr., born 1872. All right, now, they have this document, this 1910 census, linked to him, saying, oh, this is him. All right, 1870, born about 1870, married to a Mary with a son named William, all right? So here is William, born to a Mary. Here's all the children. Something standing out to you here? Where's the William that's supposedly a son? They don't even have him on here. Now, I've seen this census before, and I haven't ruled it out, but, because he's born in Ireland, and then, let's see, does it show her as being born in Ireland too? Probably, but, yeah, she's born in Ireland too, okay? Look at this. Look at this. It's not the same family. Look at it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, people, like, do you just add stuff and then just forget about it? Look. Look at this. Four still living. Mary Elizabeth, Joanna. I guess those two were two of the four still living in Arthur. Mary, Joanna, Arthur. Here's Mary. I see a William. I see a Catherine. I see a Jenny. Like, all right, here's Catherine. Where's Jenny? What? I don't see a Lewis. Well, I guess he passed away, right? But where's the Arthur? What is this? There's a William here. There's not a William here, right? But I know from looking at this that she had 8 children and only 4 of them are living. Here are 4 of them, all right? And you know who isn't listed here? Let's see. Who isn't listed here? Let's see. Joanna's not listed there. I know she lived till 1963. And Edward P. Kelly, who lived to 1949. Where's, this could be Mary Elizabeth, I guess. She would have been born about 1905, but my Mary Elizabeth's born in 1897. This makes no sense at all. Yeah, they did not look at all at this. They just straight up attached it. This is all the time I see this stuff. All the time. Like, I swear people, all they care about is numbers and, like, how big my family tree is. Like, that means something. They're literally just wasting their time. And they're wasting other people's time. Because I'm like, all right, well, maybe they've got something that can help me out. This is why I don't put a lot of stock in this stuff. What I'll do is I'll come into a family tree, I'll review a record, see if it matches up with my family, and then I will use that record specifically from its original source, not from their tree. And then, yeah, so really, really obnoxious. So I've got that. They've got 2 sources for the William and Mary Ann Duffy marriage here. Let's see what those are. The 1900 census, which I already have, and the Pennsylvania marriage certificate also, which I have. So, yeah, this is so frustrating. Look, they've got Ancestry family trees 1, 2, 3 times there. They just, like, linked up somebody else's sources from their tree, which isn't a source. I don't like that Ancestry does this. Like, you should not be using other people's trees necessarily as sources. I feel like you can do that if they're well documented enough. You know, I've got a Harlan family history book that's this thick that I'll literally put in my family tree, just see this book. I mean, it's researched back to the 1600s. It's like all the descendants of the Harlans. I'm not spending my time there. It's that has been gone over so much that I might do some of the closer relatives to me, my grandmother, who was a Harlan, you know, but, you know, and some of her family and her immediate family, but I'm spending my time on the McQuaid line, which is my surname, and when I can find out who my mother's father was, then I'll chase those lines back, because her mother's line there's been some work done there. I mean, I've done a lot of my own work on her mother's line, but I don't know who her father is, which is part of the reason that I'm doing this. I've already done 23andMe, but I feel like 23andMe is like good for people. I think that they're looking for health information and like possible like genetic things, and I mean, people look for family there too, but I find that I don't have the easiest time reaching out to people there for family tree stuff. I think a lot of people don't go there for that. Whereas on Ancestry, you're not getting Ancestry DNA, right? Unless you're actually looking in your family tree history, right? So, anyways, I'm annoyed. Well, yeah, it is. And it's now we got a Virginia death certificate here. Wait a minute. You didn't even have a... Wait, you've got death unknown. Wait, did somebody move to... Maybe it's a child. Oh, it's the Arthur. Okay, so we know for a fact that Arthur is a child. The Arthur that they have is likely a child. William and Mary Duffy. Birthplace of deceased, Pennsylvania. So he was born in Pennsylvania and moved there. It gives me another name to look for. I mean, so see, this is helpful. What's concerning me is it's possible that there was more than one William Duffy or William Kelly that married a Mary Duffy. You know, it's possible. But the dates more or less seem to line up here. So, like, he was born in 01. This other one was born in 05. But, you know, and I've got him back from 1899 to 1894, all the way down to 1894. So... Like, I'm not saying it's all wrong. I'm just saying a lot of it doesn't make sense. Like, I'll see this here, and I feel confident enough to add that in as a likely child of this family, given that he was born in Pennsylvania. Now, he was a veteran in World War II. All right, so that can give me a little bit more information. So let me close this out. Actually, let me just go right here. When was he born? 1902? What was it? Was that what it is? 1902? 1901. Okay. Whatever, I can fix that. So it was after 1900, which makes sense. I wouldn't have had him in that one 1900 census I got. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's take a look at this. Alright. Arthur 671. Alright, this is in that same area. This is 671 North 11th Street. He had just moved. Maybe that's where I can find them in the 1910 census. I wonder if they had just moved there. Name and address person will always know your address. Mrs. J. Months. Well, this is interesting. I mean, he was born in 1901, but Joanna was born in 1899 and married a Months. Were they marrying into cousins, maybe? Do they have relationship on this? They don't have relationship on this one because this is a it is a World War II. So wait, if this is World War II, did he catch World War I? 1901 would have been. He probably would have been too young. Let's take a quick look.
All right, we got compensation files here, so let's take a look at this. This might give us some more. Wait a minute. What? That's not... Oh, there it is. Okay. I hate when it pops the tab into a spot I'm not expecting it. All right, 670, 8231. He's a mission there. 671 applicant's residence time 671. Let's see what he's got to dependents listed. No, brother Lewis F. Kelly. Yeah, see, this makes no sense. Yeah, because didn't they have a Lewis over here too in their tree? Lewis, born in 07. Oh, they had a Lewis born in 07. That's weird. Where is he in 1910 here? Like, did he die? I'm pretty sure he didn't die, because why would his brother be listing him as a name and beneficiary in 1950? Yeah, that's when these were done. 1950 usually. Yeah. It's ridiculous. So, alright, so I got two brothers. Let me go back to my original Arthur search. Let's put in William, Mary, and Lewis. All this stems from two of the ones in the Kelly family I'm looking for not living with their parents in 19... I had Edward and... who was it? I think it was at least Edward, right? Let's see. Was it Edward? No, it wasn't Edward. Mary Elizabeth? Oh, no, she married into that family. God, this girl's still not laying down. I think I'm thinking of a different situation. Let me see. Enlistment records. Let's see if I can get more from here. Street here. No. Keep that open for now. Here's a Mary and an Arthur. Really? That's it? God, I can't help but wonder if I've just stumbled into another family that just happens to have the same names. This looks like a weird census here. What's going on? Is this like a second enumeration or something? Why is it? It's just the end page. Yeah, born in Ireland. Is she widowed? She is widowed. Yeah, I mean, that could be her, I guess. Like, I don't know. This family. This family's a tough one. Let's nix that for now. And that was when? That was 20? He should have been alive in 1910, so... But that doesn't look proper. That doesn't look proper. And that's in Virginia, too. Nope. Arthur Kelly. Tough. Oh, man, I'm going to need to take a break from this. Thomas Mary, Emma Thomas William, Arthur Frederick. That's just another World War II card. Thomas and Mary's? No, death certificate, death certificate. Arthur in Pennsylvania in 50. Just living by himself or living in a hotel or... Where is this? He's a laborer, so he's working, so it's not a hospital. At least I don't think it is. I am not having a whole lot of luck here. It's Darby. Alright, so here we go. We got the Muntz family here with an Edward and Arthur Kelly here and Joanna. Alright, that is good. Alright, let's take a look at this. Okay. Alright. Everybody born, parents born in Ireland, Northern Ireland, Irish Free State for Joanna, for the parents. But see, then we've got an Arthur Kelly here. Yeah, but you know what? It says brother-in-law, meaning it means Joanna is his sister. But it's got parents both born in Pennsylvania. My guess is like they just messed it up. But I don't know. What about the next page? Because Edward's on the next page. Brother-in-law, Pennsylvania. You see, it doesn't make sense. Like if that's her siblings, one of the father or the mother should be born in the same place as her, but they've got Pennsylvania listed for both of theirs, whereas hers is Irish Free State in Northern Ireland. So, in any event, that ties this Arthur to Joanna, who, let's see, and I've got in the 1900, let's see, Joanna with Lizzie, Martha, Mary, Joanna. What's that name there? March? I don't know. Anyways. And Mary is the one marries into the Lamb family. Anyways, I'm getting a little off the beaten path here, I guess. But I found this, so now I can document Arthur and add him in. I think I'm going to leave it there and just kind of end it for now because I'm kind of getting tired. So, anyways. So thanks, G. Thanks for showing up and checking out my story and hanging out here in the stream as I look through census records and all that fun goodness. Alright, who else showed up here today? Anybody show up here today? I had 4 people at one point. Oh, that was cool. Anyway, so thanks, dude. Appreciate you hanging out. And I'll catch up with you in Discord.